for the LMP3 category. They were all out of line. In fact, the entire field was warned for a start. There was against starting procedures, but Jones, a big jump at the start, leads into turn one. A great debut for that young man in this category. And then problems early, multi-class racing. Boise Uretsky gets shoved off the racetrack by the prototype driven by Daniel Goldberg. Goldberg will serve a penalty, stop and hold for 10 seconds. That puts his championship hopes on ice. They are done. Then this incident, Jones had fallen back to second, trying to get back to the lead. Controversial here. A lot of people see this call two different ways. Jones ends up with the penalty, but Bijoy Gorg gets a penalty for blocking as well, and a 3 grid position penalty for today. Jones with the drive-through, and the big loser in that entire event was the innocent number 82. He gets stuck into the fence there. Big hit. We finish under yellow. Garg takes the win.
Yeah, and yes, after that race yesterday, there was a penalty issued to the car number 3, Bijoy Garg, for moving across there on Jagger Jones to effectively initiate that incident. He's got a 3 grid place penalty, so he'll be starting a little bit farther back than he would otherwise have done so. But the grid for today's race is set according to the fastest laps by each of the drivers in yesterday's race.
Welcome in, everyone. I'm Brian Till, along with Jeremy Shaw, and we'll bring you all the action just as we have all year long. And action's a good word, Jeremy. We saw plenty of it yesterday. I love this format. When IMSA came up with it, a lot of people were like, yeah, let's wait and see if it's going to work. Well, it works. This 2-class format, the LMP3 machines, the prototypes, and then the GSX class of the GT cars. They work well together, and it really trains drivers, teams, engineers for the future if they're looking towards the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship.
Yeah, multi-class racing is what this is all about. The LMP3 cars are a lot quicker than GT4s, and that speed differential caused some problems yesterday, no doubt about it. It was a bit too exciting yesterday, I think. So hopefully today we'll have a slightly cleaner race. Just kind of looking at the grid, we've got a few non-starters here. Those 2 cars were involved in heavy accidents yesterday. Moisey Uretsky and Brady Berman, unfortunately not able to get their cars repaired again today. Bob McCalin also not driving today in the Core Motorsports car number 59. It's one of the Mustangs. And Alex Kirby has some mechanical problems in the LMP3 car for Performance Tech, so he won't be starting either. Let's have a quick run at the top 5 in the GSX class for the grid today. On the pole position will be Gregory Leofouge for Stephen Cameron Racing in the BMW. The similar car, Patrick Wilmot for Split Decision Motorsports. Excellent run by him yesterday in the race. He will start second on the GSX class in car number 88. The Sebastian Carrazzo, who won yesterday, will start third in the Kelly Moss Porsche car number 27. And the championship elect, all he has to do is take the green flag today, and Francis Seldorf will assure himself on the championship in car number 95. That's the Turner Motorsport BMW.
And that's really the same with Bijoy Garg in the LMP3 category. Starts the race, the championship is his. That does not mean there's not going to be any good racing today. Think about the front row. Jagger Jones has what looked like at least a podium finish taken away with that penalty that was assigned to him yesterday. Perhaps a race win. He starts from the pole again today. Daniel Goldberg outside of him got thrown out of the championship basically with the penalty that he was assigned. He wants to make amends for that. And really, Courtney Crone and Brian Thenis, who start side by side on the second row, they're battling it out for third in the championship. This is going to come down to the end for who ends up on the podium overall by the end of the season in LMP3.
Yeah, some rubbing there coming up towards the green flag between the 2 front row starters. Jagger Jones on the pole position on the right-hand side of the racetrack.
And that's how you start a race in VP Racing Sports Car Challenge. Yesterday it was ragged, was not today. The GSX field a little more ragged. And the championships now have been decided with the start for both Carrazzo and GSX and Garg. So let's go racing.
Yeah, but what a great start there for at the front of the field also for Sebastian Carrazzo in the GSX class. That little Porsche Cayman, he's got past both of the front row starters to take the lead in the class as they headed into turn 1. Great start for him yesterday. Jagger Jones had the lead on the first lap, but when he got down to turn 10, Cole Tars, he slid wide and he lost that lead to Bijoy Garg. Wow, what a start he's made here, Jagger Jones.
Yeah, and Garg now up to third. He's gotten past Courtney Crone, so we've got 2 Duquesne chassis in the front right now in the hands of Jagger Jones and Dan Goldberg. It seemed to take them a couple of more laps yesterday to get those tires up to temperature, to get the balance of the Duquesne chassis underneath them. But when they were absolutely flying. So Jones now with a good gap back to the light gray number 73 of Dan Goldberg. And Gard, really, championship's his. He can go racing. Really, everybody in the top 3, you want to see a championship go down to the wire, but now that it's been decided, guess what? Nothing matters. Let's go win, right?
That's exactly right. It was on the exit of that corner yesterday that Jagger Jones made his mistake and lost the lead to Joy Gard. No, not this time. He's learned from that mistake. Good first lap there from Jagger Jones. He leads pretty handsomely from Dan Goldberg, who he really wants to finish ahead of Joy Gard. They've had a tremendous battle for the championship all the way through the year.
Problem for the number 89 out of split decision. That's Adam Thomas with the problem. He's driving the older model BMW. You can tell by the grille, that smaller opening there on the front end of that car. Problem there, and I'm not sure if he got together with someone else or that was just cold tires and an issue there. See if we have a replay of it, but 43 minutes yet to go, and let's think about, well, here's a replay. I think there was a little bump there. Just loosens him up a little bit, and that's more of a bump. That's more than a bump, I should say. Yeah,
that wasn't very necessary, was it? I don't think. He just helped him around there. He just used all the racetrack as if the other car wasn't there. Well, it was, unfortunately, and Adam Thomas goes for a spin. Great stories, Adam Thomas. He does everything for this Vision Motorsports team. It's a little team based out of Tennessee. They work so hard, and the whole team is kind of put together in memory of 2 guys who were killed in a road car crash quite a number of years ago now. Rob Farley and David Gregor. Their dream was to be doing exactly what this team is doing right now. And Patrick Wilmot's done a super job with this team all season long. And Adam Thomas getting the opportunity. He does some club racing, but this is getting the opportunity to drive the older car this weekend, as the team has a new car for Patrick Wilmot. And unfortunate spin there for Adam, but hey, look, he's just thrilled to be there, and he's racing here he's not only concentrating on racing, but his father has been diagnosed with cancer recently, so he's not here, and Adam really wants him to be here.
Yeah, he's getting a chance to watch his son in competition, and it's what it's really all about. This is what it's all about in GSX. You see the 19, the orange and blue. That is Gregory Leofouge, who runs second right now, trying to keep Patrick Wilmot behind him. And with that split decision motorsport team getting their hands on that newer BMW, the G82 model, that's added just a little bit more life to Patrick Wilmot's step, a little bit more energy to it, and he has moved it a couple of positions higher than what we normally see him run. Shows you that newer equipment does have that little bit of edge, because when you can take the battle to a driver like Gregory Leofouge, who is so experienced, so good, it says a lot. And I know that split decision team would love to have a good result here this weekend.
Well, they really would, yeah, because they've got 6. It's all volunteer crew. There's 6 crew guys here this weekend to run these 2 cars, and for these GSX cars, that's a tall order for 6 guys to run 2 cars. But they've done a super job, and he looks to the inside there. But Gregory Leofouge kind of has that line covered. He's going to tuck it behind this time around, and the championship elect there, Francis Seldorf, in that yellow and blue Turner Motorsport BMW right behind. The super battle between these 3 BMWs for second position, but Sebastian Carrazzo with that brilliant start has edged away once again.
Sector 1 is 0.9 off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.6 off the pace. Sector 3 is 0.5 off the pace.
Car on the left.
Clear left.
Clear on the left.
On your
Car
left.
on the left.
Clear left.
Clear on the left. Car on the left.
Hold your
To the
line.
right.
Clear left.
Clear on the left.
Sector 2 is 0.8 off the pace.
Car on the left. Stay on the right.
Clear
Clear.
left.
1.6.
Sector 1 is
2,
1.7 off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.9 off the pace. You need to find a 10th in Sector 3. Sector 1 is 1.2 off the pace. Okay, Will, there's a car exiting the pits, heads up.
0.01.
7th position. That's your
That was your
fastest lap.
fastest lap of
That
the
puts you 1.1 seconds off the leader's pace. Sector 3 time is fast.
Left
Car
side.
left. Hold your
To the
line.
right.
Clear left.
Clear on the left.
Now delete this lap, you've cut the track.
These cars are a lot of fun. I really like them.
Maybe just a little bit slick, but saying that, when you look at the performance of Jagger Jones right now, he's got a good race car underneath him. He certainly isn't experiencing any issues with the racetrack right now. And hats off to that young man. Has not driven a prototype before until he tested before this weekend, and his first experience racing one was yesterday. And it's been an impressive weekend for him. He's got a lot of time in a lot of different cars, but really not a lot of wheel-to-wheel experience. And so you put him in here in multi-class racing. I've been impressed with his performance all weekend long.
Yeah, so he should be, I think, Brian. I think he's been absolutely excellent this weekend. Very little experience. This is his first ever multi-class race, and he had to deal with the traffic yesterday. That was a bit of an eye-opener for him, but he was coping really, really well with it. And I think he was really unlucky to be called for that penalty towards the end of the race, because from my perspective, he did absolutely nothing wrong. He was making a pass there, and the number 3 car kind of moved across on him when he was already in position to be able to make it, at least pull alongside him. But hey, that's why I'm not a steward. But this is, Gardner looking to the inside on Dan Goldberg, but again, Dan Goldberg, unlike yesterday where Bajoygar was taking defensive lines into the corner, Dan Goldberg, much more experience. He should drive his own race, and if Bajoygar can pull a move on him, okay, fair enough. But I'm going to drive my own race, go as fast as I can, and it's up to him to make a way past me cleanly.
Ryan Tillman, Jeremy Shaw with you. VP Racing Sports Car Challenge, the final round of the 2023 season from Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta. Jagger Jones out in front in the LMP3 category, and overall this battle continues to rage behind him for second place. Champion-elect in the inaugural season, Bijoy Garg runs third in the number 3, just behind the 73 of Dan Goldberg. Talk about these two have been fighting tooth and nail for the championship all season long. It was really decided with Goldberg's penalty yesterday. That's really what took him out of the championship and handed it to Bijoy Garg. And all the second half of the season, you and I talked a lot about Bijoy Garg's racecraft and how it had improved all season long. And I think we kind of stepped back a little bit yesterday. We got a little bit desperate there at the end of the race, and we saw some moves that we hadn't seen the last 4 or 5 races from Bijoy. He settled back down today. He's done a great job all season long. He deserves the championship. But, racing is an emotional sport, and you've got to try to leave it out of the cockpit. Right now, there's a lot of emotion going on in this battle for second for GSX as it climbs up the hill to turn 2. Gregory Leofouge owns the second position right now aboard the 19, that orange and blue BMW, but it is a BMW train, second, third, and fourth.
Yeah, and I think right now, if Wilmot can stay where he is and Vin Valletta isn't able to move up a position, I think that'll be good enough for third position in the championship for GSX, for Patrick Wilmot and that split decision motorsports team. That'll be a real feather in their caps. A tiny team just doing it with volunteers and a lot of enthusiasm. It's brilliant to see. And look, this battle for second position at the front still rages on. But there's also a battle for third in the points for LMP3 between Brian Thenis and Courtney Crone. Coming into this final race of the season, Brian Thenis was 40 points ahead of Courtney. Right now, Courtney is ahead of Brian Thenis, but not by enough, I think, to quite catch Thenis for the championship, the third position overall.
And this is really kind of where it all went wrong yesterday. Not this place on the racetrack where we're watching Leah Fouge, Wilmot battle.
Left side.
Clear left.
Clear on the left.
The championship hopes in LMP3. It's also where we saw the problem from Moise Uretsky when he received the short end of that stick. So this is what multi-class racing is all about. Jagger Jones seems to have worked his way through that gaggle of GSX cars and has left Bijoy Garg and Dan Goldberg to deal with it as they head down through the S's. Goldberg much more measured today as he worked on that GSX traffic down through the S's.
Yeah, and I think he got a little bit greedy yesterday, trying to make a pass on Moise Uretsky going down through the S's, and he's learned from that. And it was a lot more circumspect there. He's maintained his position ahead of his rival. That's what he needs to do. Ooh, there's some great racing between these two. Gregory and Leah Fouge there under intense pressure from Patrick Wilmot.
And great job by Wilmot to stay out of the right rear any more than he got into it. For Leah Fouge, he kind of came sliding off the corner, trying to hold as much as he could. That's a lot of respect right there. You could be a lot more aggressive than that and turn somebody. It would probably cost you a penalty. But this is some great racing right now. Francis Seldorf showing us what he's made of, why he's earned this championship in GSX. Great battle here for second in the GSX category as it flashes down the hill to turn 12.
Yeah, Wilmot, for a moment there, he was looking to take the second position away from Leah Fouge, but he did a good job there to make sure there's no more contact at the exit of that corner. I think he, smart driver, both those two. They're both very experienced drivers. Gregory a lot more than Patrick, but certainly Patrick's been around this sport a fair time as well. And they will both be absolutely loving this battle they're having right now. And behind them and ahead of the championship election up in GSX is the Red Dragon number 99 car of Courtney Crone, who is running right now in fourth position overall.
And this is where you learn those lessons as a multi-class racing driver. Courtney Crone catches those cars. She did a great job. She actually backed off just a little bit, braked a little early heading into turn 5 so she could get the run on those two cars between 5 and 6 and put a period on that and get by them a lot of times. And I really think that's one of the things that caught Bijoy out yesterday. Jagger Jones on his tail as they went into turn 7, and Bijoy went ahead and dived on into the corner, got stacked up behind a GSX car, and it gave Jones the run. And it put him in position to make those difficult decisions there going down the back straightaway. So sometimes you have to slow down to go fast, and that's what you learn in this multi-class racing.
Patience is a virtue, particularly in motor racing, and particularly if you're in a faster car going down through those S's. You know, if you're in a prototype car, you can go much faster downhill through the S's than the GSX cars. But you've got to realize that the other guys, they're on the limit as well. You might be going a lot faster, but they're on their limits, and if you push them off their line, they're going to have a crash. That's exactly what happened yesterday.
Now Brian Thenis trying to get past Wilmot on the climb up to turns 2 and 3. Looks inside, and he thinks better of it and says no. And I wonder if the team is telling him, look, you're running 5th, Courtney's running in 4th right now. She's going to gain 20 points on you, but when I look at that, 20 points isn't enough to move her in front of him in the championship. And this is where your team comes in to try to help you with your patience, saying, hey, in the big scheme of things, where you are right now, it's okay. Problem for Garg. Off the racetrack. That was turn 7, I believe, at the exit. He's back underway.
That'll bring a smile to the face of Dan Goldberg. He's dropped a position, hasn't he, behind Courtney Crone, and that could be critical for the championship for Courtney.
Yeah, now we were just talking about a 20-point gap. Well, now it's 40.
Yeah.
And when I look back at the points as I had it figured on the way in, it puts her and Brian Thenis in a tie as I see it, Jeremy, points-wise.
Yeah, she'll get 300 points if she finishes in third place. So Brian Thenis in the fifth will get 260. That's a 40-point differential, which was the differential between those two getting into this weekend. And if you look at the count back, Brian Thenis has 2 second-place finishes to the 1 of Courtney Crone, and should be finishing in third position here. So if they stay as they are right now, they'll be Thenis by on the tiebreak.
Well, a tiebreaker, yeah, absolutely. Be interesting to see what happened there with Garg. Meanwhile, Jagger Jones, the gap was 10 seconds a little while ago, but he got a lot of traffic, and we've seen 2, 3, 4 seconds a lap delta when you catch traffic here at Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta. So he's lost a little bit of that lead, but can't say enough for this young man and what I've seen this weekend, how impressed I am with him. He's got a very mature outlook, graduating from college this year in December. Got through it in 3.5 years. I wish I could say that for my sons. They're still working on it. They're giving me more gray hairs than Jagger's family probably has by watching him race.
You're shifting down too much next.
Great job. Very impressed
fucking
with
myself
him.
all up.
First time
Pissing
in
me
this car,
off.
first time in multi-class racing, and he has adapted to it very, very well.
Yeah, and even though this is just his second sports car race in a prototype sports car, his first being yesterday, he's got, he knows what position he's in. He's been around racing long enough. He's been around racing all his life. Of course, his grandfather was Parnelli Jones, who won the Indy 500 back in '63, and his father PJ had a huge amount of success in all sorts of different cars. So there's racing very much in the blood of Jagger Jones, and right now he's on cruise mode right now, no doubt about it. He just wants to bring this car home. The goal was to get the pole position, check. Win both races. Well, he was in position to win yesterday, didn't quite pull it off, but today he's positioned himself perfectly to do so.
His fast lap right now is considerably quicker, 0.8 of a second quicker than that of Dan Goldberg, who has the second fastest lap. Great stuff and good stuff here. This battle continuing to rage in GSX. Seldorf gets clear of Wilmot this time on the way into 10, but Wilmot, is he going to have an answer back? They run down the hill to 12. Good stuff. Right here, coming off of the corner. It's kind of the over and under, and then they head down the hill to turn 12, and I don't know if he was able to hold position or not. He was.
He was. Wow. And that's big for Wilmot's championship, I think, because Vin Barletta has actually moved up a couple of positions now. He's ahead of Will Watts and Adam Adams has been Barletta up into 9th position. That'd be worth 220 points. And right now, Wilmot is in 3rd. He needs to hold on to that 3rd position at least. He's lost it again to Francis Seldorf. That's not good. I don't think that's going to be quite good enough for Patrick Wilmot. He needs to get past Francis Seldorf, and meanwhile Gregory Learfouche is pulling away in 2nd place.
The split decision team with this new car this weekend, there's a learning curve that goes with it, and I know they had some corner weight issues with it the other day, and I said, well, cross weight in a car here at Road Atlanta is not necessarily a bad thing if it's cross weight in the proper direction that's going to help you through all these right-hand corners. And they said, well, yeah, it's not that way. It's in the opposite direction. Look at this.
Yeah, having made that mistake, Bejoy Gardner right on the tail of Courtney Crane. Is she going to defend that position to the inside? Yep. Yes, she is. So Gardner's going to have to go around the outside, and Courtney holds that position into turn 10. Nice move there by Courtney. She just about got across the left-hand side of the track in time there, not to be called for blocking.
Just can't move in response to the car behind you. We talked about that yesterday, Jeremy, when we were watching Jagger and Bejoy out there. If you want to make the move first as the lead car to defend your line, that's more than okay. But if the car following you begins to make the move out and then you cover it, race control is going to look at that as a block. No move in response. Crone now under intense pressure. She holds down 3rd. She needs that if she wants to have any hope of...
He's just done a 1:00.3 seconds.
Right side. Still there. Clear right.
Clear on the right.
Sector 1 is 0.9 off the pace.
It's a 20-point swing if this pass happens.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And there's a problem there for Billy Griffin, who won the opening 2 races of the season at Daytona for the Core Motorsports team in this very distinctive race for RP Ford Mustang. He's got it going again. That's good news.
Looks like a little Control-Alt-Delete kind of reset all the computers that are so much a part of all of the racing machinery these days, from entry-level classes all the way up through the GTP ranks. And a lot of times you have a little bug and it literally is like Control-Alt-Delete on your laptop, kind of a reset, and it gets back going again. Billy Griffin did just that. Good to see him out of the way. And the person who held their breath a little bit, I'm sure it was Jagger Jones, going, hang on a second. Yeah. I'm having a great day here. Please don't bring Dan Goldberg back to my rear wing. No, that's right, because Dan's been doing some pretty good laps lately. Jagger certainly has, I think, everything in hand here. But it's interesting now that the boot is on the other foot here for Bijoy Garg. He's got to find a way past Courtney Crone in the same way yesterday he was in the lead and defending from Jagger Jones. Can he make this pass on Courtney Crone? Duquesne chassis in the hands of Crone. Ligier in the hands of Garg, and down the back straightaway, I would think she's going to try to cover to the left. That's the preferred braking line into the corner down to 10A, and that time it looks almost like Bijoy just said, you know what, I'm not close enough to push it right now, and just kind of was willing to fall back in line. Yeah, and good for her. I mean, she's nice, clean lap, no defending that on that lap for Courtney, just focusing forward, doing her own job, going as fast as she can. And I think that's exactly what she needs to do at this phase in the race. I think she got a little bit defensive for a lap or two, but now she's focusing forward. That was a 1:19.3 last time around for Courtney. That's within a half a second of her fastest lap of the race. Just watch Jagger Jones think about looking up the inside of Gregory Liefooghe at turn 6. And I'll give him a lot of credit. You talk about patience. Liefooghe, I think, almost expected it and left the door kind of open. And Jones smart enough to say, hey, you know what? I have absolutely no pressure behind me. I don't need to rush this right now. And consequently, did not take what could have been an invitation by Liefooghe to move on.
Fucking hell, I had a good lap going too, fuckers.
Pressuring Liefooghe.
Yeah. We got damage on the front end.
Young Francis Seldorf, he's come on leaps and bounds this year, hasn't he? As he gains experience. His father was a pretty useful racer. Frankie raced in the Porsche GT3 Cup Series in IMSA for several years, and young Francis here, kind of he's 22 years of age, just doing a nice job as a senior at Boston College, studying computer science and finance, but he's studying how to become a racing driver this year as well. He's learned a lot, and he's got better and better as the season goes along. His racecraft now so much better than it was earlier in the year. And now, behind them, once again, Dan Goldberg catching traffic, utilizing, showing that patience that you talked about yesterday, that perhaps he got a little overzealous there in the S. As Seldorf knows the car's there, he lets him go through and says, hey, can I grab a little something, a little bit of draft? No, nothing doing there. And he's dropped back off. Seldorf has the rear wing of Liefooghe just a bit. And I look at these young drivers that are getting their education in business and computer sciences and accounting degrees, where you have to analyze data, and I think it's the perfect setup, it's the perfect experience as being a race car driver. Analyze the data, figure out where you are, get those points, make a decision based upon the data that you have, not on the emotion that you feel. And that's the thing that's so difficult, right, Jeremy? It's keeping the emotion out of the cockpit. You can get frustrated, but don't get mad. Don't lose your head, the red mist as we call it. You know, and trying to keep those emotions under control. If you can channel them, you know, it's like
people that think iRacing has bad graphics. I don't see where the graphics are bad at all. These graphics look fine.
So you got to be able to focus.
Very, very, very good point. Well put there as well. But yeah, you have to be. It's total concentration at the wheel of these cars. If you let extraneous things get in your mind, then it can distract you from the task at hand. I mean, driving these cars on the limit, it takes every every bit of concentration. If you allow anything else to get in there as well, it can mess with you, and you can make mistakes, and one mistake leads to another.
And that's why I look at some of these young drivers. Francis Seldorf right now, they're pressuring Gregory Leofouge. Leofouge, the very experienced professional, a lot more experience than Seldorf certainly has. He is not cracked. He's run perfectly. Let me take you back to VIR, where these two were in opposite positions, and Leofouge was pressing Seldorf the entire race, and Seldorf didn't make a mistake. So it's one of those deals where that concentration is there for these young drivers. It's great to see. They are the future of our sport. Seldorf now looking to the outside of Leofouge. Leofouge parks it right in the middle of the road and says, if you're going to get by me, you're going to have to make a pretty exceptional move, and nothing doing there. Right on the marks, and I talk about data right now. Seldorf has been watching Leofouge for the last several laps going, okay, where is he? Where is he? Look at this. Guard now into turn one. Manages to slide to the right of Courtney Crone as they get down to the braking zone. She was protecting as far as she could, but he gets through, and now Bijoy Garg back into the top three.
It's now 43 Celsius.
On a previous lap, he was back a bit from Courtney, but he made a lot of ground on that last lap, and then made that pass stick on that front straight. Really good driving there from Bijoy, and Courtney's got to settle here for a fourth position again, I think. She was on the podium yesterday, had that second position with the penalties that were handed out during that race. That was her best result of the season, and gradually gaining in pace.
That is the first mistake I've seen Francis Seldorf make, and I can understand why he made it. As they came into 6 and 7, and Courtney Crone was there, he started to turn in for 7 and hesitated for just a second because he thought the 99 might be there. That put him off the apex. It didn't give him a good run off the corner. Consequently, lost a couple of car lengths to Leofouge just in front of him. And I'll call it a mistake, but I think it's one of self-preservation. He felt that the 99 was there and might make that move in desperation so Crone could stay in touch with Bijoy Garg. And I think Francis just said, you know, if I turn in and that car's there, it doesn't matter who gets called at fault. I'm the one that's on the outside of this corner. I'm the one that's going to pay the price.
I'm the one who's going to have the bigger problem. Absolutely right. Sebastian Carazo, what a drive this has been once again for the youngster from Puerto Rico. He was faultless yesterday from the pole position. He was on the pole position yesterday. Yes, he was, and a dominant win yesterday. Didn't get the fastest lap of the race, so had to start back in third today, but a brilliant jump at the start for Sebastian. He has absolutely controlled the race from then. There's a gap he can see. He's pulled away from Gregory Leofouge in second position, and Francis Seldorf trying to make up for that mistake and close back onto the tail again of that orange and blue BMW.
He just had some down moments this season. The second race at CTMP, Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, and then not a good weekend at Lime Rock. And really that's what's kind of kept him from pressing a little bit harder in this championship. Seldorf a little bit more consistent with top 5 finishes, and just that bad run of 3 in a row for Carazo there in those races that we just talked about. But he has been extremely fast, and in the last several rounds, the last 2 rounds, he's kind of rebounded and gotten back to where he needs to be in the top 3, in the top 5, collecting maximum points. But in a championship this close, you just can't afford to have finishes out of the top 5, and really can't afford to have finishes off the podium.
No, that's exactly right. And, a couple of poor races for Sebastian. Kind of, didn't lose his focus, I don't think, but just didn't get good results. But he's come back so strongly in his final few races. I mean, he had a third place finish last time out in the second race at VIR, and then yesterday he was perfect, and today same again. A little bit farther back though, still some good racing going on here with Scott Blind, who's running in 5th place in the Aston Martin, and back to the 2 Porsches who are running there together.
Angus Rogers in that white and gold number 5 as prototype traffic coming through. The 17 in there as well. That's Walks, and he is down a lap. So Rogers is working his way past him.
Yeah, Rogers had his best result of the season yesterday as well.
Angus Rogers second in the Bronze Drivers' Championship to Vin Barletta. A couple of 100 points back, so even with Barletta's bad day, I don't think that's going to cost him the championship in the Bronze Drivers' Championship. But Angus Rogers has been there all season long and trying to make a point of it here. He's had a pretty good weekend, and this just amazes me. This could have been 5 laps ago, 10 laps ago, or this current lap. This battle between Leverkusen and Seldorf has looked like this.
Look how cool that was with the smoke and everything.
Exactly like
it is. Felt like a little bit.
It's like, why doesn't ACC have that? Like, how could you make a race sim? How can you make a race sim and not have smoke? Look how good this game looked. Everyone's like, oh, the graphics are bad in iRacing. Bullshit, they are. Freaking great. Graphics looks great. And it's not that over HDR crap. Like, that's what, like, Project Cars and ACC, it's like way too much HDR. Way too much shader stuff, too. Whoa! That was cool. Oh, I thought I made it. Didn't make it. Oh, this was earlier. Position 8th, it says. Request new car, yes.
The inaugural manufacturer championship in the IMSA VP Racing Sports Car Challenge, but some good runs here by other manufacturers as well. They're certainly strong. I mean, there's the GT4/GSX category is very, very strong in terms of manufacturer interest and competitiveness.
Fastest lap for Rice, 57.9.
And Gregory Leofouge, as the prototype traffic has gone through. Patrick Wilmot aboard split decision number 88 BMW. Now he's been able to close back a little bit, and this is make a good photo finish here if it ended this way. The 88 right there behind the 89, or the 89 behind the 88, I should say. Thomas behind his teammate. There'll be some photos that the split decision team will hang on the wall of their shop. Thomas with his problems early on, down a little bit farther than Wilmot is, of course, but for this team to see these two cars running together here at Road Atlanta, that's got to, you know, you talked about some of the challenges and the memories this team has about some of their teammates that are no longer here, and this is what these guys race for, and it's going to make them feel good. They've got a smile on their face.
No doubt about it. And they worked super hard here to get these cars in this position, and they picked up that sponsor this season. Genie Garage Doors. They're based in Ohio, and they've helped this team an awful lot to order a new BMW, the latest G82 specification. They're running a G82 here for Patrick Wilmot, but that's not their car. It's a borrowed car for this weekend. Their new car will be delivered very shortly, and that split decision motorsports team will be back here for a full year next year.
A lot of fans. Yeah. There's a Patrick Wilmot fan. The big heads are out. Awesome. Down the back straightaway. It's almost like a crew member signaling as they go by. The big heads are out. This team is hilarious. They said, we're going to have big heads everywhere, and they've got great big heads and some smaller heads, but they're everywhere. Fans have them out there. They're waving them at the fences. Team knows how to have a good time, and they know how to race hard.
Just love it. Just love it. The Joy Garg, just a quick note here, having got himself back up into third position, just set the fastest lap of the race. There's no points involved in that, but certainly a little bit of glory and bragging rights. Bijoy, he wanted to win this race, go out as the champion with another win, but he's certainly some fast laps now. He's not going to catch Dan Goldberg for second place, but there is that S2 Cyber machine of Bijoy Garg.
How do you know he's not going to catch him?
Well, unless
a full course yellow would.
Well, that's true.
Full course yellow, he'll catch everybody.
That's a good point.
And it'll be a brand new race. And I'm certainly not wishing for that. 9 minutes to go from Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta in the final round of the IMSA VP Racing Sports Car Challenge for 2023, the inaugural season, and it has been a good one. Jagger Jones, big legacy there with that family. The Jones name in motorsports is one that everybody recognizes, and now Jagger putting a mark on it as well, starting from pole today, and a great job all weekend long in a class and in a car that is new to him. And it'll be interesting to see 8.5 minutes to go if Jagger Jones will take win number 1 in his sports car career and only race number 2.
Yeah, that would certainly be impressive with a pole position to his, or 2 pole positions to his name as well. This one today was oh no, it was earned, wasn't it? Because he got the fastest lap in yesterday's race. Absolutely right, yeah.
Still has to negotiate GSX traffic as he does this time. The speed differential between the GSX cars and the LMP3 cars substantial, especially in the higher speed corners. The LMP3 cars a little over 150 miles an hour at the apex of turn 1, 160 plus miles an hour at the end of the back straightaway heading into the braking zone. So very, very fast prototypes here. And that delta, that speed differential between the two classes, certainly on display, not only down the straightaways, but through the higher speed sections here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta.
Clear on the right.
So inside now, 7.5 minutes remaining for Jagger Jones. As Patrick Wilmot looks on.
Yeah, there's another big head. Brian Till, Jeremy Shaw with you. The season winding down. The championships have been decided in both LMP3 and GSX. The race now is for Pride. And for Sebastian Carrazzo, who second in the championship, has had an absolutely perfect weekend. That young man, he's won championships before in IMSA Porsche GT3 Cup in the gold category in 2019. So he knows how to win championships. This one just slipped away from him, but he's had a great performance. Anytime you can rebound from struggles, as he has rebounded, we talked about those 3 races in a row that struggled a little bit in the middle of the season, rebounded and done everything that he's needed to do to try to get back in this championship. Just not enough time. Perhaps another weekend would have done it, but guess what? It was 12 races at the beginning of the season. They're not going to add any as we go to help you out. So, but a great job for him. And there's stories all throughout these 2 different classes. Stories of struggle, stories of triumph, new drivers coming in, learning lessons. And like I said, engineers, crew members, drivers alike, they'll learn and they may continue to run here in this category, or they may move on in their careers up the racing ladder, up the sports car ladder, and into series like the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. Interesting to note, Performance Tech Motorsports, who has run prototype machinery in the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship for several years now, has said, hey, we're going to take a break from the big series next year at least, and we're going to focus on running prototypes here in VP Racing Sports Car Challenge. And I think it shows just how legitimate this series is. We want to stay involved. We're going to work on our budget so that we can run back in WeatherTech maybe in a year or so. But in the meantime, we're going to keep our focus and we're going to keep our racing game going by being here and participating with LMP3 machinery in the VP Racing Sports Car Challenge.
Yeah, it certainly is a tremendous stepping stone up toward the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. You know, it's not here just for drivers, it's for teams, for crew guys.
Getting ready, going green.
For engineers, team managers, you name it. It's a great learning curve. It's a proper professional championship with some serious race cars here.
Did you just hear that? I heard it.
He's carried in.
Get ready.
Came from
Green flag, green flag.
15 minutes left. That's
number
15
95,
minutes.
and it was the voice of Arnold Schwarzenegger. He said, Francis Seldor got split, right? He got split by some of that LMP3 traffic, and now I'm back. I'll be back. And guess what? He's back. And there he is. Gregory Alifu's going
On your left. Clear left.
Clear.
I thought I got rid of him. But with 4.5 minutes to go, Francis Seldorf is not finished.
He's not. He's done a really, really nice job here. I mean, Greg has been around the sport a long, long time. And Francis Seldorf has done a better best lap than Gregory. That's a Fernandez cap even right there. And he's giving Learfield all he could handle here. This race is not over.
Courtney Crone in the shot as she's beginning to close down on this battle in front. And hats off to her. We talked about the great battle that she and Brian Thenis have had, fighting for third in the championship. And I've watched her improve all season long. Some good lap times here this weekend. She'll continue to get better and better as she continues to get in the seat of this car. And love to see the Red Dragon back out there, you know. Watched that so much in years past. I saw Bob Stallings in paddock yesterday. I didn't get to stop and chat with him. It's always a pleasure to talk to him. But it's great to see him support.
I'm running with that 47 Motorsport Sable as well. Buddy Rice is one of the
Okay, Will. Run out of track limits. Keep it between the lines.
Who owns the 47 Motorsports team, but former Indy 500 winner Buddy Rice is sort of the engineering / driving coach / you name it. He's been around the sport in every different aspect over the years.
There's an incident behind.
Clear left.
Clear on the left.
From Buddy Rice. And she's been racing this year also in Europe in LMP3 cars, so getting lots of experience now.
Right
So
side.
we're getting closer to
Hold
Stay
your
on the
line.
left.
the leading place.
Clear right.
Clear on the right.
Getting closer to the checkered flag here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. The final
Car in front
round
of us is now
of
huge.
2023 BP
The
Racing
leader has just done
Sport Challenge.
58.7.
When this series was brought about last year, and the idea
1.4,
was put
4,
forth,
2.
series said this is what we're going to do. I'm not sure anybody imagined that we would see the racing that we've seen. Great racing here throughout the season, and a great race here today and all weekend long here at Road Atlanta. A stepping stone for many drivers and an entree, especially for young drivers like this. Jagger Jones, who leads overall in LMP3, talked about the great performance that he's had, the penalty that he got yesterday, and once again able to put emotion behind you. I'm sure that did not sit well with him,
about track
Jeremy,
limits.
but guess what? That was yesterday. Put it behind him, and he is focused forward today.
Right
Right
side.
side. Clear right.
Clear on the right.
That's a new fastest lap for Rice. 58.4.
The car in P1 just hit the fastest lap. 58.372. 5.767.
Left side.
Car on the left.
Clear left.
Clear on the left. Left side.
Far left.
Clear on the left.
On
Car
your
on the left.
Clear left.
Clear on the left.
Well done, Will. Good pass. Eyes front. Come on,
That
don't
was
make it
your
easy for
fastest
him.
lap of
Make
the
him go
session.
the long way around. P14. That's the fastest lap of the race. The stewards have warned us about track limits. Keep it between the lines.
Car on
Left
the
side.
left.
Still
Hold your
there.
line.
Still there. Clear left.
Clear. Car on
Right
the right.
side.
10 minutes to go.
Hold
Stay
your
on the
line.
left.
Clear right.
Clear.
10
Right
minutes
side.
to go. That's 10 minutes left.
On your right.
Clear on the right.
is broad bend.
2.30. To
Car left.
left side.
Still
To
there.
the right.
Hold your line.
Hold your line.
Clear left.
Clear on the left.
V12. Well done, fella. The gap to broad bend behind is now 0.3.
Car on the right. The leader just did a
Clear
0.107. Clear. Zero point 658.
Your lap time was at 1:00.7.
Right side.
On your right. Hold
Stay
your
on
line.
the left.
Clear right.
Clear on the right.
Pay attention to track limits, please, Will.
On
Left
your
side.
left. Hold your
To
line.
the right.
Clear left.
Clear on the left. Zero point 419. Car on the left.
Left side. Clear left.
Clear on the left.
Good stuff, keep it coming. Half distance, fuel looks good. Come on, watch these track limits, please, Will.
You're pulling away from the car behind. The gap is 1.5 seconds.
Tenth position.
59.30.
Gap in
That
front
was your
is now
fastest lap of the
0.3.
session. You're in the top 10. Car on
Left
the
side.
left.
Clear left.
Clear. Car on the left.
Clear left. On
To
your
the
left.
right.
Clear left. Car
Stay
left.
on the right. You're on the right. 3 wide. Left side.
Hold your
2
line.
wide. Hold your line.
Still there. Clear left.
Clear. Car on the left.
Left side. Still
To
there.
the right. Stay on the
Car
right.
left. Clear left.
Clear. .148.
P8.
On
Left
your
side.
left. Hold your
To
line.
the right. 5 minutes to go.
Clear left.
Clear.
Done.
Left side.
Left side.
Stay
Still
on
there.
the right.
Clear left.
Clear.
5 minutes to go, 5 minutes left.
Left
On your
side.
left. Clear left.
Clear. Car on the left.
Clear left.
Clear on the left.
10.
3. Car on the left.
Clear left.
Clear on the left. Left
Left
side.
side. Hold
Hold
your
your
line.
line.
Clear left.
Clear on the left.
Car
Car
right.
on the right.
Clear right.
Clear.
Okay, Will.
Car on the
On your
left.
left. Clear left.
Clear on the left.
Good move, mate.
Right
Right
side.
side. Hold your
Clear on
line.
the left.
Clear right.
Clear on the right. One point 975.
Left side.
You're on the right. 3 wide.
Still there.
Hold your line.
Clear left.
Clear on the left.
E9.
You're pulling away from the car behind. The gap is 3.5 seconds. The leader just did a 2.542. Zero point six.
All right, Will. You're reading. Radar in. The gap is now 0.6. Two minutes to go. 2 minutes.
Car on the right.
Hold your
Stay on
line.
the left.
Clear right.
Clear on the right. .94.
Fastest lap. Watch those track limits. We don't want a penalty.
Left
On your
side.
left. Hold
Still
your line.
left.
Clear left.
Clear on the left. Car on the right.
side. Hold
Stay
your
on the
line.
left.
Still there.
Keep to the left. White flag.
Hold your
One more
line.
lap to go. Keep going.
Still there.
Keep to the left.
Clear right.
Clear. 1.422.
P8. One more lap to go.
Right
Car
side.
right.
Hold your line.
Clear
Clear.
right.
Left
left.
side.
Still
Hold your
there.
line.
Clear left.
Clear on the left.
The fastest lap for Gardner, 107.2. P7. There we go, it's over. Bring it back
There's the
round.
flag, it's over. Great job, driver.
All right, I really like this car. This is the first time I drove this car. Fun car track combination. I bought Road Atlanta a long time ago and then never used it. So really actually enjoyed that. It's a lot of fun. If you happen to watch this all the way through, don't forget to hit subscribe and thumbs up. This is going to be an unmonetized video because I had the IMSA race going on I was watching while I was racing, so just going to be unmonetized if IMSA's listening. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Bye.
Look out for the pit speed limit. Pit lane speed limit is 45.
Highly recommend this car. This car is a blast. Absolutely. So fun, this car. It's a very smooth car.
5, 3, 2, 1. Right here. That's it, go.